Hey, what's up everyone? Freddie Smith here. Don't mind the headphones, the camera's far away and I want to make sure that I'm not blowing out the mic here. But I want to show you all, I'm right here in my podcast studio. My fiance and I have a podcast called the Freddie Alyssa Show. We also film daily videos and vlogs and all different types of videos for YouTube. And we started taking YouTube serious around May of 2019 where we started posting a little bit more. And especially into 2020, we've been trying to post daily because we've learned a lot. But you know, there's more to podcasting, I guess, than just filming the podcast itself. How you edit for different platforms and how you market can continue to build the brand of your podcast or YouTube channel. So in this video, I'm just going to show you what I do in post-production. It'll be a little bit of a tutorial, so I'm going to try to make it as informational, educational as possible, but also keep the pace going so that it is entertaining and we can get through the video and give you some knowledge here if you're looking for tips of what to do after you film your podcast. So if that's the video you're looking for, stick around and I'll show you exactly what to do in post-production and how to edit and market. So the first step is pretty self-explanatory. It's going to be just importing both of the videos from the cameras. We have a dual camera that we shoot with. And I line up those videos. I import the audio right here from our Yeti mic, and I record all of this on GarageBand. As you could tell when I did the 3, 2, 1 and snap my fingers at the beginning of this video, I did that to demonstrate what we do so that when you're lining up the audio, it's very, very clear. So when you're inside your audio here, you're going to want to look for these peaks, and it makes it so much easier to line up the audio so that your audio is good. Because if you're on camera audio, like if I edit right now and you listen to just this audio now from camera, not on the microphone, I think you can tell the difference compared to what an actual good microphone sounds like. So you're going to want to line up your audio. So you can hear that they're all off. Zoom in and I'll see what the culprit is here. So what I want to do is line these up perfectly. And then I'll start right about before we start talking. I'll trim the entire beginning, and this way the episode will start. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Freddie Alyssa Show. Now, step 2, we don't film our podcast live. So we record with just 2 cameras going at all times, and then I go through the edit at the very end. So if it's 30 minutes or if it's an hour, hour and a half long podcast, I essentially just watch the podcast. And if the video is on me and I'm talking, then I'll just edit the video so that it's on me. And then when my fiance or a guest is speaking, then you just cut over to them. So I basically cut back and forth, back and forth, back and forth for 30 minutes or an hour, hour and a half, however long the podcast or video is. And I just cut back and forth. Now, once the episode is edited, 2 things that I like to do. Number 1 is I like to remind people about a minute into the video to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell. I used to think that was always goofy and kind of like a thing. I was like, really? You have to do that? But as I've become more invested as a viewer on YouTube, even some of my favorite people, I'm so invested in their video, I do forget to like it. And if they didn't remind me to like the video, subscribe, or hit the notification bell, which you should do right now if you haven't done so, people will do that. So I found this little, I guess you'd call it a plugin, but it's on the website called Motion Array. And I forget how much it is. You can do some research on that to see. I don't think it's too crazy expensive, but it allows you to download a bunch of different plugins. The one that I use is called YouTube Pack, and it gives me this little lower third that pops up, and I really like it. And then it also gives me this little end screen, which I really wanted. Yet again, reminding people, hey, if you've made it this far in the video, you obviously liked it. So, you know, don't forget to subscribe if you have. And so I just really like tagging the video and throwing a little music on it as well. Now, when it comes to the music, I like artlist.io. I've been using this for about 3 years on my videos. It's royalty-free music, and I'll put a link in the description for you that you can click on. And if you click the link, I should have did a little more research on it, but I think you get like a couple months free possibly. So I'll double check and do that. But artlist.io is a great website. And then if you look through it as well, they have different categories about mood. So if you want to do a vlog, they actually have a vlog there where they've already preset songs for a vlog. But you can look through all the different kinds of songs. The checkout process is super easy. You literally just add it to cart, and then it goes into your email, and you can just export it as an MP3 or download it. And I think it's about $100 for the year.
So you get unlimited music for $100 for the whole year. Don't quote me on that, double check that, but it's roughly that price. So it's actually super reasonable. Now the next part is going to be finding screenshots or stills. So what I'll essentially do is I'll go through the episode and I'll look for maybe like, if it's like a shocking video, it'll be something like, like that, or you can pre-plan it. So at the end, you just do like, you're shocked or like, you're laughing, whatever it may be. But essentially I look through for real moments. I export those screenshots throughout the video. So before you work on your thumbnail, I would highly recommend exporting your video, because that's going to take anywhere from 15 minutes to sometimes even 3 hours, depending on how long your podcast is and what resolution you shot it in. So I like to time it where I can work on my thumbnails while it's exporting, and then if I have an extra hour, I'll go eat lunch or go work out. This way I'm not just like sitting there watching and wasting time. So I'll program it or I'll schedule it so that I have some time. But yeah, you just want to go to File, Share, Apple devices, 4K or 1080. The only thing I would recommend is using the faster encoder, the H.264 faster encode. This way it will export a lot quicker, and it makes the file size more compact, because if you do like the Apple ProRes 422, I think it is, it's going to be a massive file, which is like crazy. And then you just go ahead and export it. Now, when you export, there's something that I want to share with you. If you're going to upload this to YouTube, don't just save this as like new podcast 1 or something like that. You want to save the file as something that someone on YouTube would type into the search bar. So for instance, on ours, we've got, we're doing a little review of The Bachelor. And so we want to make it something that people would potentially put into the YouTube search, whether it's The Bachelor Who Wins or The Bachelor 2020 or The Bachelor Episode 3 or whatever it may be. I save each of my videos as something someone could search in YouTube, because that file name is on file. So don't just put something generic. Be thoughtful of what you save your video as. Now the next thing is going to be making the thumbnail. So while it's exporting, make your thumbnail. And I use Canva.com. So if you go to Canva.com, you can create a design, and they'll have a YouTube thumbnail already set for you, which is really convenient so that you know the dimensions are great. But because I've made a bunch of these, my first design is my actual thumbnail. So I just get to, once you make a template, you just go back and just like delete the pictures and then replace it with your new pictures here. So I'll go ahead and upload a video or a photo here. So this is one of the stills that I took from the episode. Line it up here. And then go to adjust and put the contrast at around 50. For some reason, it just makes it look better. It makes the thumbnail pop. It just gives it a little more life. And then you're going to want to go ahead and do the same thing for the other photo. So I'll import and upload my photo here. And you want to do the same thing for my photo here. I'll add the contrast up to 50. I'll position it all the way to the back, like so. Line it up there, nice and pretty. And then I just go to Google. I just replace that photo. So if we're talking about like, in this case, The Bachelor, go to Images and just pick one. Boom. Put a little, the whole thing was, was she being real or fake on the episode? And then you just go ahead and download it. So you're all good to go here. Again, when you're exporting, you want to make sure you save it as something that someone would YouTube. So The Bachelor, Alea, we're thinking someone would actually YouTube that. So let me scroll down here, but you can look at all the thumbnails. So these are our episodes, and here's some of our clips. But see how we like change the clips in between here? There's the one with the Bachelor, but we'll just essentially just make them more professional, because you want someone to see these and click on them so that you can get more eyeballs on your channel. And the thumbnail really does make a big difference. And if you look at yourself, as a consumer on YouTube, you're going to notice that you actually do that. So here's the fun part. So it's exported, you got your thumbnail ready to go. Now you want to upload it to YouTube. So the title, again, super important. You know, don't do something like someone gave me a great note on this. You don't want to do a YouTube title like some of these people with millions of subscribers. They have millions of subscribers, so they can do "I have some bad news." ... They can do that because 12 million people are being notified. So within the first hour, they're going to have 100,000 views. The algorithm's going to go, "Oh my God, this is a great video. Let's push it to everybody." But when you don't have a big audience like us, you don't want to put something like that. You want to put something as a title that someone would go to YouTube, "How to boil an egg." If that's your video, you want the title to be "How to boil an egg" because people are typing that in. So in our instance here, we wanted to do The Bachelor episode 3 reaction, and then we just put her name because that was like a really big thing. It was her episode, so we're thinking people are going to be typing in The Bachelor episode 3 Alea. So we wanted to have that there. Same thing in the description. You want to put hashtag The Bachelor, you know, the 2020 or whatever your video pertains to. And while you're writing your description, try to use as many words and be very thorough and thought out when you're writing your description so that all of these words are being picked up. So by us, we want people to be, in this particular video, we wanted to say rose ceremony, Pete the Bachelor, all like some of the girls' names, all things that people could be typing into YouTube, but into a beautiful paragraph so that it could potentially come up on search results. And that's how you're going to reach a new audience. So the next step is going to be uploading your thumbnail, which is very simple, self-explanatory, bada boom, bada bing. And now for the big part, which is the tags. The tags are super important because, yet again, this is what people could be YouTubing. They might YouTube the Freddie and Alyssa Show, my name, Alyssa's name, The Bachelor 2020, The Bachelor Alea in this particular video. And what you can also do is go to YouTube, type in The Bachelor, and see what people are actually, like, what are the top searches. So people are looking at The Bachelor Recap, The Bachelor Peter, The Bachelor, so whatever it may be, and then we just add those in. What are the most popular searches, and we go. So if you're making, you know, how to make a cake video, or how to, like we did another one with our friend where she talked about donating her eggs. So we looked up how to donate eggs. And then someone says, what is the egg donation process? What is the egg donation procedure? What is the egg donation compensation? So we look and see what are the top search things, and we plug them all into our tags. And what's neat is after a while, you might actually be the first video on the search result. There's a few people that we've had on our podcast and a few different videos that if you type in like even my name or my fiance's name or some of the guests we've had on our podcast, the first video out of all of YouTube is our show. And that's going to be in perpetuity unless they do a video or someone else does a video that we get knocked down to second or third, but we're still in that homepage. When someone Googles how to boil an egg, I wish my video was first because that's how you get those millions of views. So whatever videos you have, just be very cognizant of what you're putting as tags so that you can start ranking in the YouTube search, because most of our audience is built through YouTube search and people discovering us. So let's continue on here. If your video or if your channel is qualified for monetization, you can add your monetization to it, and then you can go ahead and make sure everything looks pretty. So and then one other little side note too. If your video is over 10 minutes long, YouTube will allow you to add an ad in the middle of your video. So you can also click, have an ad before, during, and after your video. And you don't want to put too many. I think someone watching an ad at the beginning, it doesn't bother them. A quick little interruption in the middle is fine. So yeah, go ahead, make it public, add it to your playlist. This one's going to be a Freddie and Alyssa clip. Go ahead and save it, and you are live. And then the next step that I would recommend is adding an end screen. I would add an end screen to your video. This will really help keep people on your page and show them videos that they want to see, and also remind them to subscribe. So you can go over to Add Element, put a little subscription thing there that'll pop up at the end of your video, and then you can add a video. I always do best for viewer because YouTube's going to know better than we are what the viewer who's watching this would like to see next. So if they make it through your 10-minute video, there will be a recommended video for them at the end. But in this case, I'm going to add another Bachelor video because they're watching a Bachelor video. So I'm thinking, let's do best for the viewer, and I'll add a second one of our very first Bachelor episode review. Maybe they'll click on that as well, which will keep them going, and we'll continue to add views to the page. So this has really, really helped our YouTube channel. It has given us significant reach, and it's straight to the point. And what that is making a clip. If you are going to film an hour-long podcast, put the audio on iTunes or whatever other platform, have the full-length video, you can also find 3-minute clips, 10-minute clips, 15-minute clips within the episode. And Joe Rogan does this. He has a whole separate channel for clips, but we don't want to do that yet. So what we're doing is we're finding compelling, searchable topics to do as independent clips. So we'll go through the episode, and then our friend in this episode here was talking about donating eggs. So we go, that is going to be a great one-off video. So we would just copy that 9.5, 10-minute clip of her from our full-length episode. We paste it into a brand new project, and then we're going to add our YouTube pop-up, our YouTube at the end of it. We're going to export it. But take a look at what this can do, because people might Google how does the egg donation process work, and we wanted to have that separately. But one of the examples I want to show you is that when we had my friend Billy on, his full-length episode was 1 hour and 3 minutes long. It got 8,800 views. And we also cut another clip. And then this one was actually our biggest clip. Our friend Lauren and Alex came over and talked about their pregnancy, and their video got 52,000 views. And that was amazing because people were Googling them being pregnant. And so our video got a lot of traction. So that's an extra 52,000 views to our page. And I think their episode actually only got maybe 3,000 to 5,000 so far. And the little clip did 10 times better, which makes sense. People don't want to watch all the time a 47-minute video. Even with Joe Rogan, you're not going to watch a 3-hour podcast 4 times a week. So sometimes you'll just look at his 3-minute clips, 10-minute clips, or if you're jogging, you listen to 1.5 hours of it. So you want to have these little clips, but it adds more views and more clout to your channel. So even going back to my friend Billy, 8,800 views on his actual episode, but then I cut together a little thing of him and how he met his wife, and it got another 3,500 views. So now that video of him in general is generating close to 12,000 views, and it's only going to continue to rise. So the clips work really well. I'd highly recommend doing that. So this one's really great. So this is my favorite thing to do, is to make Instagram story swipe up videos from your episode. We drive a lot of traffic to our channel by doing this. So you want to find about 15 seconds to a minute long clip that you think is entertaining. You want to copy it, open a new project, and go ahead and paste it in. But you're going to want to change the dimensions so that it fits inside an actual, Instagram here. So what you want to do is you go up to the Windows tab, and you're going to click Project Properties. Scroll over to the side here and click Modify. And over on the video, you want to change it to Custom. And instead of the resolution being this, you want to change it to 1080 over 1920. And this is what's going to happen. Do you see how the screen now shifted so that it looks like your actual cell phone there? It'll fit beautifully, but the video inside is still a little awkward. So what do? I just go over to the side, I zoom in, and I don't fill up the whole entire frame, and I'll show you why. But I'm going to go ahead and move the position here. I'm going to keep playing with these numbers until I get it to right about center. Maybe 500 will do it there. Perfect. So that looks great. There I am all in there. Now I'm going to go up here to the top. I'm going to scroll down to generators. I'm going to go ahead and take a full color and put it under my video here so that there's bars, and I like to change the bars to white. You can use whatever color you would like to put on your story, but I think that white for us has worked out really well. So there's a little white background there. And then the next step, I'm going to grab a title. And I just use the basic title. Nothing fancy, but you can have fun with this and do whatever you want to do. So I'll just stretch it all the way across. Move the title up. And then I just change it to black here. I like doing it in black. The Freddie and Alyssa Show, episode 67. And then the font, I like Impact. Have fun with that as well. I make it smaller so that it fits. And that is all. And then with that, you're just going to want to export it just like anything else. And that's that for the Instagram story. And I just export it, and then I upload it to Dropbox. I Dropbox it to myself, save it onto my cell phone, go into Instagram, upload it. If you have over 10K followers, you can add a swipe up link to it. And then the last thing is I just add a little music to the end of to the front end of the episode. And this way, anyone who's doing just the audio portion is familiar that the episode is starting. I export the audio here, and I just make sure I go to settings that it's audio only, which will be in an MP3 audio format. I export it, Pod 67 audio, and then I add it to my Dropbox, send it over to my fiance, and she goes ahead and she uploads it. When it comes to uploading the audio, that's a video in itself. I would just do some research on what you want to do with the actual audio. But that's what we do. So we have it everywhere. We put it on Facebook. We use a thumbnail for Facebook. You're more than welcome to put a little video clip or whatever you want to do. But that's basically all the steps that it takes to wrap this all up in a bow for you. You know, if it's an hour podcast, from the moment a guest arrives and we hit record to the moment it's put out online is about 6 to 8 hours of work per episode. But you're also getting so many pieces of content. You're getting a piece of content for Instagram Story, Instagram Grid, for Facebook, for Twitter, for LinkedIn. We used to post on there. We kind of let LinkedIn go a little bit. Facebook. And then we have the clip. We're also getting another clip. So we're able to post a clip on Wednesday, the full length episode on Thursday. We're getting a lot of content out of that 8 hours of work. So that's something to keep in mind. But I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, comment below. And I'll put everything else down in the description for you if you need anything there. And but thank you if you made it this far on this video. I appreciate you. And I'll see you next time.